What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about the God of War art book that leaked. Now, this is spoiler territory. It seems pretty likely that this is true. The image of Odin matches up to the leaked image that we had of Odin a few weeks back. So if you do not want to know what I'm about to say, and it's basically, I'd say his motivations, that's probably the best subject or best way of describing what this passage is the motivations of Odin and, what that's going to lead to. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. And then we'll show it to you. So here's Odin, the picture. Again, this is the same one that we got earlier, just it doesn't have the Dust Golem, watermark on it. I don't know if this also comes from him. It may, but I just don't know. And then the passage underneath says, and finally, Kratos will clash against his most cunning enemy yet, the All-Father himself, Odin, king of Aesir, the intellectual master of dark magic, will prove to be a surprisingly agile fighter with a devastating arsenal of magical threats at his disposal. Odin serves as the antagonist to both Kratos and Atreus in different ways. To Kratos, he is the ultimate nightmare scenario, a replacement father tempting his son down a dark path by offering what Kratos cannot to Atreus. Odin is both the key to his potential and the very thing blocking him from achieving it. Odin is without a doubt the most formidable enemy this franchise has ever faced. And again, you go down and you can see another excerpt that says Kratos and Odin fight for the soul of Atreus and the fate of the 9 realms. And then you see gods ruling in all 9 realms of Asgard high atop the world tree. So that's all interesting. I mean, look, ultimately, these aren't the most spoiler things in the world. The motivations for Odin seem like legit. It seems, and even what people are kind of discussing in the comments of like Reddit and other places that this is yeah, this is kind of predictable in a way where it's like this game is about, seemingly, we don't know too much about this game, honestly, but what we can tell, it's basically a coming into your own story for Atreus, right? Like, he's questioning things, but he's growing up and he's becoming, an adult. And if Kratos isn't going to treat him the way that Atreus, say, wants him to treat him, or is hiding things from him, or, whatever, and then Odin comes in and is a more, like, honest, down-to-earth kind of thing, that could so. And I guess another thing, because we've talked about the potential of Odin, and people have said, like, all right, well, if you were to fight Odin, Odin not necessarily is a fighter. He's more of like a skilled, in his mind. He's very smart, right? Under this thing, it makes sense because, I mean, that's why actually it says surprisingly agile fighter, right? It's almost like you wouldn't expect him to be as agile as he is, but he is. And magical threats, that makes sense, right? Magic, we know he can do magic, and we know he's very skilled at it. So you have different elements of his power, and then you also have more of his mind, right, where he's like, well, he'll do anything to stop Ragnarok. And so if he can basically trick Atreus, which you imagine, I mean, look, it's whether lore supports it or not, and I think it probably would anyway, the idea that Odin would try to get to Atreus, convince him of something that is partially true but not all the way true, only to then reveal kind of his master plan. That's kind of like the point of like any villain ever, you know what I mean? Somebody who opposes Kratos, somebody who will maybe be more honest and more of the father figure that Atreus thinks he needs, or maybe just actually needs. Odin can pretend to be that, but in reality Odin has a bigger plan. So his plan may be to just convince Atreus to come onto his side, kill Kratos, do whatever to Kratos, and then either harness Atreus' power for himself or kind of mold him into like an apprentice, or whatever ends up happening. But that's what you have to imagine is going to be kind of the plot from Odin's point of view. So I like it. Number one, it's not too big of a spoiler, right? These are kind of things you could assume they're going to do, or maybe think they're going to do, and if it's true, I mean, yeah, the picture matches. I mean, anybody could have written this. I mean, I find it hard to believe that this is fake, but if you want to say it's fake and you just don't believe it, that's totally, I respect that. I have nothing against that, but seems like this is real. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.